I was kind of a street kid, you know. I was raised in center of Tel Aviv, next to Allenby, which is really like the hardcore party zone of Tel Aviv. I always used to wander around the streets, and I guess when I started learning art and animation and illustration, so also just took some small pens with me, just random markers, and just started drawing my creatures on the walls, just randomly, no big purpose to it, just another medium that I work in.
I started with graffiti like 4 years ago. I'm like the older guys who started graffiti. I just saw everything on the street, and I always wanted to paint on the street. And nothing really special. Just wanted to paint on the street. I'm painting the indoors and outdoors. I mix it. It's not just street art or studio works.
I flew with my girlfriend. We flew to Berlin, and one night I remember going out of the club. We met some German street artists, and we were talking to them. One of the guys told me, just instead of talking, just pick up a brush and start and join us. And that's when I think everything started. I came back to Israel. I started like really drawing and painting on nearly every wall I can. Every weekend I used to go out and do that. It was still a little bit political, but I started leaving that and putting it aside because I think it created, in that time, it created a lot of antagonism, and the municipality used to go immediately after, a day after, and erase all the political slogans. Especially I think because they were a little bit more left extreme than what was the standard. I think nowadays they don't give a shit too much.
After 1 year, you get to know all the guys. You know them all. The scene is in Tel Aviv and a bit in Haifa and a bit in Jerusalem. That's it. Very small. It's 50 artists. That's it. Even less.
Here is there's no graffiti history like in the States or in Europe that it's got each city got his own style, and you have to follow the rules of graffiti. Here it's completely new and completely broken, so you can do really amazing stuff. There's no rules in Tel Aviv street art. So this is what I think gives it a unique feeling to the street art here. There is no tradition. Everything can be done.
I think the first impact that I wish people to have is that the first feeling is, oh wow, this is cool, this is nice, I like it. My neighborhood looks really good now that I have, like, drawings, free art.
I come to the wall, I see it, I make some lines, and it's like improvisation on the spot itself. Just a small moment in time that will be there for maybe forever, maybe for a day,
You get some time to feel and say, I had enough, I don't want to do it anymore. It's not working, it's not happening. But then you meet one person who says, hey man, I saw your piece, I used to write a lot, Pressed at Last, and it really blew my mind. You say, okay, it works. One is enough. Now let's start having another one. So, it's horrible. I feel like a missionary. It's like the guys you talked about, the Rabbi Nachman, they're also like fighting for each soul. Yeah, it's a struggle for each soul. What can you do? Rabbi Nachman is
Rabbi Nachman Newman. It came again for us to this world. He's with us. He's speaking.
Many people don't even know shit about street art and graffiti. Don't even look around. Just wanted the street culture and the art culture to know me and to know my works. But yeah, I got many feedbacks, and it's a nice way to, how do you say, to explore your style and become better artist and meet many peoples and meet many street artists that with different styles and mix it together and works together and do collaborations and stuff.
I don't paint for people, I paint for myself, people can enjoy it maybe they, can think about the message. I'm not a political person, I don't have a secret agenda, or I don't want to brainwash society. I just do it because I love it, and I will do it anyway. I do it in millions of other forms of techniques and art, and that's but painting a big wall in the street is really there's no other feeling like it.
Back in the days, the police and the municipality, they used to either try to catch you or arrest you because you're doing that, because they thought of course it's illegal, but they didn't understand what was the purpose of all of it. And now there's a tendency to let it, understand that it's part of something probably trendy that the young people like, and that'll help Tel Aviv seem like a more of an international city, and so let them have their painting on the wall and blah 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 and whatever it is.
The police don't know how to deal with it, and you can paint a wall and the police will come and just okay, we don't know what you do, we don't care, you can keep on doing it. Yeah, it's pretty much easy to paint around here. The mainstream don't even care about it, and the police don't give a shit about it. And yeah, this is the best thing in Tel Aviv, that you can paint.
So you take more time maybe on a wall and try to give it your best. and not just like hitting it and running away, you know. So maybe that's also a possibility. But yeah, probably, I don't know, maybe just like talented people, you know, so it's beautiful street art.
Rabbi Nachman say Israel is a light of Mashiach. The spirit of Mashiach with us. Look, Israel, איך אומרים עם ישראל? The Israel people, עם ישראל, the Israel people, he passed a lot of things in all the history. Wars and Shoah. This land is of ours. Not it's of Jewish. Mm-hmm. So we're here, and this is very special. Nana.
I think what I do now is political, but not in a specific context. It's not like the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and what is done there and what's happening and blah blah blah. It's more of a perception of how we, or maybe a challenge of the perception of our society.
I had an Austrian grandmother, and she grew up in Vienna, enjoyed like all the theaters there. She was like a really Viennese typical girl, you know, living the lifestyle over there during the 20s and early 30s. So she used to, and then coming to Israel, which was like just sand. So she used to tell me all the stories about theater, movies, art people she knew. So I think that's a mixture of that and seeing all the visual stuff that those artists really did was like the greatest inspiration, and it came to doing that, but using like the contemporary styles. I think maybe bring it to our style.
In 2011 there was the Occupy in New York, and there was like a 6 month of protest here, huge protest. It was the biggest Israeli social protest since ever. I talk about it a lot in my works, like we are the citizens, we have to take control on everything, we have to... So in 2011, I saw many images around the world of people with the bandanas on their faces. So that was the main image that I took from 2011. And since then, it's almost like my signature, the bandana. It's like to put something on the street that the protest is still here. I guess it's like all around the world, it's like that, you know, that people are starting to feel the pressure. They are like becoming machines and stuff, and sitting all day in the office just to feed their babies, and that's it. This is my small protest that I keep on going.
Because when you grow up here, you're always reminded of like the threat of for the survival of Israel. Like for the past 30 years, the news have been like pumping the Iranian missile threat, Iranian nuclear powers. But nothing really happens for the past 30 years. So you start doubting like the bold, thick red or black headlines that you hear sometimes you see in the news. And you start asking yourself questions, are we just really in a serious threat, or is it some sort of cover-up and not dealing with something which is more imminent, like first of all the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, second of all the fact that you have settlers which are going wild, doing whatever they want with hardly any laws, fact that there are people who are living under military law. That's like in regards to Israel and its borders or neighbors.
Alright, politics. There's a difference, you know, art is art and it's supposed to be that, you know, and politics, we have it every day, 24 hours, 7 days a week, here, you know, on our neck, politics, war, fuck this, that. So just give us a moment to, I don't know, to create, to be ourselves and to escape from, you know, this constant noise. This is